family drama, and sibling rivalry. These themes are as old as humanity itself. But the ancient story of Jacob and Esau takes these dynamics to a whole new level, with consequences that shaped entire nations.
You know, what fascinates me about this story, the way it captures such raw human emotions that we still see playing out in families today.
Hmm, exactly. And what's really interesting is how this isn't just some sanitized religious text. We're seeing real people making huge mistakes, like Isaac literally repeating his father Abraham's deception about his wife being his sister.
That's such a fascinating parallel. Like father, like son. Though I have to point out the irony that in both cases, it's the pagan kings who end up giving them moral lectures.
Well, speaking of family patterns, let's talk about that incredible moment with the lentil stew. Here's Jacob, calculating enough to see his brother's weakness, and basically saying, "Sure, I'll feed you if you give me your entire inheritance."
The way the text describes that scene is so vivid. Esau coming in from hunting, so dramatically declaring he's about to die of hunger. Though we all know he wasn't really dying, just really hungry.
You know what's particularly striking? The text specifically mentions that Esau despised his birthright. Like, this wasn't just about Jacob's manipulation, it reveals something deeper about how Esau viewed his inheritance.
So, what do you make of the divine prophecy given to Rebekah during her pregnancy? That seems like such a pivotal moment in the story.
Oh man, that's where things get really interesting. Here's this woman experiencing such intense internal conflict that she goes straight to God with her concerns. And what she receives is this incredible prophecy about two nations struggling within her. Talk about prenatal anxiety.
The way she handles that situation shows remarkable faith, though. Instead of just consulting midwives or local wisdom, she takes her concerns straight to the source.
And what's fascinating is how this prophecy plays out, not just in their immediate family dynamics, but through generations. We're talking about the origins of two entire peoples, the Edomites and Israelites, whose relationships would be marked by conflict for centuries.
Well, that certainly adds another layer to what might otherwise seem like simple sibling rivalry.
You know what else catches my attention? Isaac's approach to conflict resolution, particularly with those wells. Here's a wealthy man who keeps having his water sources stolen, and instead of fighting back, he just moves on and digs new ones.
That pattern of response is really remarkable, especially in a culture where honor and revenge were such big deals.
Right. And here's the kicker. His peaceful approach eventually leads his enemies to seek him out for an alliance. They literally come to him saying, "We clearly see that the Lord is with you." His patience accomplished more than confrontation ever could have.
That's such a powerful lesson about influence. Sometimes what looks like weakness actually requires more strength and leads to better outcomes.
And through all of this, the deception, the family drama, the conflicts over resources, we see this pattern of divine faithfulness despite human failings. Whether it's Abraham's lies, Isaac's fear, Jacob's manipulation, or Esau's impulsiveness, God's purposes keep moving forward through very imperfect people.
The honesty of these accounts is really refreshing. They don't try to present these patriarchs as perfect examples, but as real people who sometimes got it very wrong.
And perhaps that's the most encouraging aspect of these stories, seeing how God works through and despite human messiness. It gives hope to all of us who are trying to live faithfully while dealing with our own complicated families and personal struggles.
That's such a profound point about hope. These stories show us that divine purposes aren't dependent on human perfection.
Well, and it really challenges our tendency to think we have to have everything figured out before we can make a difference. These stories show us something very different: a God who remains faithful even when people aren't, who works through human weakness to accomplish something greater.